What's up, buddy? It's What Jim, and we're finally on the final episode review for Marvel's What If. It's taken a while, but we're finally here, and there's going to be a season 2, but I won't be doing episode by episode review. It'll just be a review of the whole series. And I'll be doing a review for this series, or this season of What If. And it'll be next year. It'll be my first show review I'll do next year. It won't be my first video I'll do next year, but I'll make sure it's one of my first videos I do next year. So this is also going to contain spoilers. So if you've not seen this episode of What If, you will be spoiled unless you don't mind being spoiled. That's really all I'll say here. So we'll get started with the story for this episode. This is also a part 1 of 2. Episode 8 was a part 1 to this, which I've also got linked in the description below to watch before this one if you want to go ahead and do that. But that will also contain spoilers as well. So for the story, I found it enjoyable, and it reminded me of Avengers Endgame with all the characters meeting up and being successful at defeating the bad guy. It was amazing to see those characters interacting. It was just really cool, just to see that, really, like Thor interacting with Captain Carter interacting with Black Widow. There was just so many cool interactions in this episode. There's quite a lot of characters as well. The ones I want to mention are T'Challa, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, who's the Star-Lord in this version of What If, Black Widow, Captain Carter, Doctor Strange, Thor, The Watcher, and more. There's plenty more characters, but it was great to see more of The Watcher. I don't mind seeing any more of him because I just think he's such an interesting and quite cool character. There's a couple more things I want to mention about the characters, which is Captain Carter defeated Ultron at the end of this episode, which I thought was very cool because What If started with Captain Carter as being the main character, and she ends up being the one defeating Ultron. I just thought she was just the perfect character to defeat him, and I just loved that about it, really. One more thing I want to mention about the characters, which is Doctor Strange in this episode. He's a bit evil, this version of Doctor Strange, which the Doctor Strange that appeared, I believe it was episode 4 of What If, and anyway, he had the chance to bring his wife back, and he didn't because he knew it wasn't the right thing to do. Even though this version of him still a bit evil, he still had a bit of a selfless side to him, and he knew it wasn't the right thing to do, and I felt like that was very powerful stuff there to me. I also thought that the action, we're now moving on to the action side of things, I thought the action was done rather well here, just as great as it was in episode 8, I think. And also the humour, I thought it was quite a bit funnier than episode 8. I felt like it wasn't, I didn't think the funniest episode of What If, but there definitely was some times that I was laughing a bit. And I thought that the animation, I'm completely used to it now. I think it looks great. It looks like a straight out of a comic book, which I probably said that for every single episode of What If. I did feel like this episode rushed a little bit in the first 15 minutes. Like, they could have added maybe an extra 15 minutes onto this episode. But I didn't find it too much of an issue. I still thought it was pretty great, but I felt like they were rushing it a bit. And I feel like it could have been an amazing episode if they took their time more. I also thought it had an emotional, satisfying ending. My favourite ending of all the episodes of What If. Now I'll move on to the verdict for this episode. I would rate this episode an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a very great episode. I'm not sure if this is my favourite episode of What If. I still love episode 5, which was What If Zombies. I believe that was episode 5. So I think this is my favourite, though, because it was like a mini Avengers Endgame, and there was a part 1 to it as well. So I could say they'll be both just one long episode, which I think they probably could have done the whole thing in one episode, but it still would have had the option of the second half being a bit rushed at the beginning. But I still enjoyed this episode. I still thought it was great. I feel like this one can stand on its own a bit more than part 1 did for me. That's really all I'll say for this video, and I'm glad that we finally done the series of what the reviews of What If, and now we can move on to the whole show review, which I'm looking forward to going ahead and doing that. But like I said, I won't be doing this for What If Season 2. It's just, I prefer just doing a review of the whole series. I just wanted to try something different. I thought, what if I tried something different on my channel? And I don't regret doing it, but I definitely wouldn't do it again. I like trying out different things, and it was just something I tried that I don't think I'll be doing again. So that was all I'll say for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Rest in peace to you, Chadwick Boseman. Peace and love. Ciao. Excelsior. And enough said.